this weekend is the 48th annual Railroad Days Festival in Selma, and it's got the Tar Heel traveler thinking about all the dramatic railroad stories he's told over the years.
He's someone who has a ton of dramatic railroad stories, and tonight we find him west in Roxboro. Scott Mason telling us the story of a train explosion and an old country store.
Locomotive and a powerful explosion and a country store that witnessed it all. The old Daniel Brothers store in Person County.
1889.
That's when the store opened, according to this tattered newspaper.
And it was shoved down in the wall, and we didn't know what the name of the store actually was, but it was called Daniel Brothers for the two Daniel brothers that ran it.
Dealers in dry goods, fancy articles, notions.
I wonder if you had old-timers sitting around the old stove back then.
I wouldn't doubt it a bit. They do it now.
It had been sitting vacant for what, decades?
Probably 80 or 90 years.
In its early years, the store was nearly obliterated.
It blew up right in front of the store.
The train did. It exploded one night in 1898.
There's probably shrapnel from that train explosion stuck in the wood on this store building.
These are pieces from the explosion, which happened when somebody on board turned the wrong water valve.
Turn cold water onto a hot boiler that was cherry red. And whenever you do that, there's going to be an explosion.
And how could somebody make that mistake?
They were probably intoxicated.
A local moonshiner had supplied the train crew.
It was the first mechanized drunk driving accident in the state of North Carolina.
So what, you found all this just with a metal detector?
Yeah. In the center is actually one of the water valves that you turned on. We found that a mile away from the explosion site.
He also recovered the moonshiner's bar and filled it with soft drink bottles.
So the community where this took place was Brooklyn?
That's correct.
I mean, it was a Brooklyn post office back then also.
So what do you think of the store today?
Oh, it's great. That's why we moved it here.
Put it on a flatbed trailer.
And moved it 2 miles.
In danger of being destroyed. Now here it sits.
I've been knowing about this building a long time.
Your whole life, pretty much?
Yeah, my whole life.
The building now has a second life. It's a country store museum full of history and drama. And a piece of Person County history remains safe.
It's slowly diminishing, and one day nobody will even know what Brooklyn was, but thanks to me and George, they will.
How about that? We should mention 3 people died in that train explosion back in 1898. Today, that store does remain open by appointment as a museum.
Wow. All right. Thanks so much for joining us here at 5:30.